My dear brothers and sisters, in the ayah that I have recited, وَقَالَ نُوحٌ رَبِّ إِنَّهُمْ عَصَوْنِي وَاتَّبَعُوا مَنْ لَمْ يَزِدْهُ مَالُهُ وَوَلَدُهُ إِلَّا خَسَارًا. Prophet Nuh alayhi salam, when he spent so many years in da'wah, 950 years in extensive da'wah, full-time da'wah, actually overtime da'wah, day, night, private, public, you name it, and ends up with 80-some believers. Here, when we do simple open house or something like that, you end up with a few brothers or sisters accepting Islam. He spends 950 years, prophet from Ulil Azm, from the best of the prophets. That much and that little number. This is to tell you two things. That guidance is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and work and the reward for work is up to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He rewards you for it, and it's not how you evaluate it, how many people follow you, or how many people believe in you. That's not how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala evaluates you. He may go and talk to people and bring him to Islam, and I may go and talk to people and not bring him to Islam, and I'll be more rewarded than him. Or we will be rewarded equally. Precise accountability by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So precise, you will not lose anything if you pick a little piece of trash from the masjid because you know this is the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, should look good, expect good. If you come to the house, we talked about the shoes before and stuff like that, but we have a problem because there's not much room. But if you make sure that the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala clean, expect good. Nuh alayhi salam, Prophet Nuh alayhi salam did all of this. At 950 years and get some. He said, قَالَ نُوحٌ رَبِّ إِنَّهُمْ عَصَوْنِ. He said, oh Allah, al-kufr inad. Disbelief is stubbornness. وَجَحَدُوا بِهَا وَاسْتَيْقَنَتْهَا أَنفُسُهُمْ. ليش؟ ظُلْمًا وَعُلُوًّا. They rejected the message while deeply they believe in it. Why? Out of arrogance and out of oppression. Subhanallah, that's Fir'aun. That's the people of Fir'aun. That's Abu Talib, who told Prophet Muhammad ﷺ in poetry that I know that your religion is the best religion, but the blame of my tribe and people is what I'm worried about. To tell you how much the pressure that you face from your own family and from your own friends if you choose the wrong ones. He wanted to be a Muslim, but he's worried about people, what they say about him. طيب إنهم عصوني واتبعوا and followed. من لم يزده ماله وولده إلا خسارة. They chose to be with the one who has money and who has children, and this money that's supposed to get you closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and these children that's supposed to be a mean for you to serve Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by raising them good, by making them good Muslim, you did the opposite. So the money that is supposed to be good and the children that were supposed to be good, they increased you with loss. They increased you with sins. Subhanallah. Look how it works. And look how the accountability is. You work on one person for days, for years, to bring him to Islam or to guide him to stop an evil sin. It's not working. I come and say a couple of words to him and he says astaghfirullah and he comes back. It happened. It happened, subhanallah. The person says, Wallah shaggal alayhi min 10 snin, astaghfirullah. I have been working on him for so many years. This is to tell you that guidance from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Do you think that when I spoke to him and he accepted that, I am better than you? Or I'm going to get more rewards than you? No. I worked for a few minutes. I get paid for that. You work for 10 years, or 10 days, or 10 months. You get paid for that. These are the values that Luqman instilled in the heart of his son when he was little. يا بني إنها إن تك مثقال ذرة من خردل فتكن إنها إن تك مثقال حبة من خردل فتكن في صخرة أو في السماوات أو في الأرض يأتي بها الله. Oh son, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to account you for anything. And when I say anything, I mean any little thing. Even the size of a small tiny ant. Even if it's hidden, even if it's buried under the ground, even if it's in the ocean, in the sky, anywhere he'll bring it. What for? He's bringing it so he can weigh it and pay you for it. Good for good and bad for bad. That's the values that Luqman instilled in the heart of his son at young age. Subhanallah. One of the characteristics of Islam, the excellent characteristics of Islam, is al-muraqaba al-dhatiyya. Al-muraqaba al-dhatiyya meaning the inner supervision. Yani when we compare the law with the Islamic law, the Islamic law is something that you supervise your own self. The other law, the land law, somebody has to be there. You know, my son coming here, the signal turned yellow. Definitely if I cross it, it'll be red before that. He said, go, go. There is no camera here. I said, I stopped, so I said, there is no camera, but maybe someone is passing the road, maybe I said, subhanallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the one we're going to worship. We're coming here, we thought the prayer is at 6:30, and we're late a few minutes. I told him, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the one you're going to worship, told you not to cross the stop line, because he doesn't want you to kill yourself. وَلَا تَقْتُلُوا أَنفُسَكُمْ إِنَّ اللَّهَ كَانَ بِكُمْ رَحِيمًا. Why do I have to speed up? For what? To get there on time and pray? Well, he told me don't. Look how the teachings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and how mental we do. I told him, that's the difference between Islamic law and land law. I told him, if there is a police, you will stop. If you know there's a camera, you will stop. But when those two things are absent, you don't care. Not with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. With you all the time. This supervision is your own supervisor. That is the taqwa, and that is the faith, and that is submission, is when you supervise yourself. Imagine if every one of us does the same thing, supervises himself. What a wonderful world would that be. That's why we need to work on that. That is why the teachings of Islam are so wonderful, that everyone will be a winner if we fulfill that. A thought that we have on the way here, and a reflection that we can all benefit from, inshallah. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to always be conscious of Him, and always supervise ourselves. Just think, when you're alone, you are not alone. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. السلام عليكم.